Hi everyone, welcome to the second webinar of a series of 4 webinars conducted by TCS in lieu of the upcoming management case study examinations happening in May 2023. And in this webinar, I will be taking you through the Preseen document. As you already know, the Preseen was released some time back, and I will be taking you through the internal dynamics of the chosen company, which is Happywell Holidays. All right, so let's look at the session outcomes. First things first, I'll be talking about what you need to do when it comes to applying knowledge taken from the pre-scene. As I've highlighted within the first webinar, I hope you attended it live. If not, I want you guys to go onto our website and check out the recorded version of it, because in that I explained what your role is. You are supposed to play the role of a finance manager. So as a finance manager, you need to have a good understanding about what happens within the company, as well as what happens within the industry. So whenever you are developing your answers, you need to bring in information from the pre-scene. So I'll tell you how to do it in a way that it adds value to your answer. And in the second part of tonight's webinar, I'll be conducting an industry analysis based on the real life dynamics of the chosen industry. By understanding the real life dynamics, you are in a position to better understand what this industry is about. And there are quite a bit of similarities between a real life company which operates within this industry and and the information which is provided within your pre-scene about with regards to the industry dynamics. And in the third part, I'll be conducting a pre-scene analysis. The first part of it, what you need to remember is our set of pre-scene analysis videos consists of 4 main videos, and out of these 4 areas which we discuss under paid content, in this session I will be conducting the pre-scene analysis pertaining to the first part of the internal dynamics, or where I'll be highlighting the internal dynamics of the company, and the remaining 3 videos, on which the first one is dedicated towards an industry analysis. The third video is dedicated towards further highlighting the internal dynamics of the chosen company. And in the fourth video, I will be conducting a financial analysis based on the financial statements of your chosen company and its closest competitor. And remember, I'm just doing the first part of internal dynamics within today's pre-scene analysis. And let me also remind you about the upcoming webinars. So we are in the second webinar, which is happening right now. And an extremely important webinar is happening next Saturday, which is the 8th of April, where I'll be highlighting answering technique, as I've explained within the first webinar which I conducted. Within this answering technique webinar, I will be explaining how to develop answer plans, because if you develop proper answer plans, then the quality of your answer will improve significantly. You are in a position to structure your answers appropriately, and on top of that, you are spending some time to think and come up with a better answer which fits the exact requirements which are highlighted within the question. And on top of that, I will also highlight a time management technique, because most students end up failing the MCS exam because they run out of time. And if you run out of time in any of your tasks, then your chances of passing the MCS exam is extremely thin. So you need to have an understanding about how to manage your time properly. All these things will be discussed in depth in the upcoming webinar. And these discussions will be based on answer plans which are developed based on a mini mock, which we will be uploading tonight within our website. So then you'd understand how to develop answer plans in a practical sense. And on top of that, in the latter part of the third webinar, I will be talking about what leads to failure, and I'll be providing solutions to each of the reasons which I will highlight within the next webinar. And the fourth webinar is happening on the 22nd of April, where I'm going to take you through examiner's comments, because it's of utmost importance that we understand what the examiner believes in and what the examiner wants to see in your answers, what the examiner defines as quality. So by understanding the mindset of the examiner, you are in a position to significantly increase the amount of marks you're going to gain. And on top of that, I will also talk about how to develop confidence both before the exam as well as whilst at your real examination, because as per the CIMA examiner, confident students end up passing the exam comfortably. So it's better to be to have an open mind, as well as it's better to be positive closer to the exam as well as whilst attempting your exam. All right, so let's look at what you need to do when it comes to Preseen application. Chris is asking a question: is webinar 1 available for replay? Yes, it is on the website. You can find it by checking out the free content. Later on, I'll show you how you can access it. Then, yeah, looking at the first part of tonight's webinar, Preseen application. What's the right approach? First things first, you need to know your key information. For instance, Happywell owns a fleet of aircraft and hotels. Okay, so likewise, key information, you need to remember key information, but we've made your life easier because we provide something called an annotated Preseen. And once you go through the annotations, that's a good summary, and it highlights all the most important information which you need to remember. And you'd see the annotated Preseen in a while, because based on that only I'm gonna conduct the Preseen analysis session. And on top of that, we will be releasing some TikTok videos, 3 TikTok videos in total. And via these TikTok videos, we are covering the entire Preseen, or we are summarizing the entire Preseen within 9 minutes. So what you need to do is, on a daily basis, keep watching these TikTok videos. Then it's extremely easy for you guys to remember the most important points. So, we are trying to provide the fullest support so that you remember the key information, because as a finance manager, you need to know about your company as well as what happens within the industry. Then when it comes to ratio analysis, you need to remember the key ratios as well, because as a finance manager who is reporting to the senior finance manager, you need to have an in-depth understanding about where you stand or where the company stands in a financial sense. So again, we have developed a set of slides covering ratio analysis. So if you go through this set of slides and watch the 4th Preseen analysis video, then you'd know your numbers inside out. And on top of that, all the ratios, the key ratios, will be shared via the TikTok videos, where you can keep yourself reminding about where we stand as a company. And let me show you the type of financial analysis material. I said that you'd get your hands on a set of financial analysis slides. So this is something, you'd get your hands on something like this. So we conduct horizontal analysis based on the SOPL, and the most important points have been highlighted, taken out and highlighted. And the same is done for the SOFP as well. Then you are in a position to understand about the financial position of the company in a nutshell. And on top of that, all the other relevant financial statements will be dissected and explained in an understandable and concise manner. And we have already, conducted a ratio analysis based on this company. And by looking at these numbers, you are in a position to figure out the nitty-gritties pertaining to the financial performance of the company. And all these information are provided in an extremely understandable and concise manner, so that you can leave out all the unnecessary information and just focus on the most relevant and important information which you need to remember about the company. So so that's about the ratio analysis. And you have to prepare yourself for possible scenarios, but be open-minded, because as I've been telling you on numerous occasions, this is not an academic qualification. This is a professional qualification. in an academic qualification, you learn a lot of theory, then you replicate this theory within your assignments or your examinations, and you can pass easily. But that is not the case with CIMA exams. These are professional qualifications. So the examiner is trying to figure out whether you can apply theory and concepts to a real life business situation. So if you are to play the role of a finance manager, you have to be open-minded. You, as a finance manager, you are supposed to provide recommendations to the senior finance team. So in such a context, you need to be open-minded, or else the quality of the answers which you would provide will be substandard. Okay, so you have to prepare for possible scenarios. So if you attempt our 5 mock exams, you would get bearings about the type of scenarios which can be thrown at you at the exam, because there are a lot of hints provided by the examiner this time when we look at the Preseen document, and based on these hints, we can easily predict the type of scenarios which can be thrown at you. However, you need to just go through these mocks with the intention of improving the quality of your answers, but you need to be open-minded when you walk into your real exam. And remember that the scenario which is presented in the exam carries the latest information. So through the Preseen document, the examiner is giving you information about the industry dynamics, the internal dynamics of the company, and as well as the financial statements. So all this information gives you a picture about what has happened in the past within the chosen company. But at the exam, the examiner would come up with problems or issues faced by the company, and as a finance manager, you are supposed to provide solutions to each of these issues. Okay, so remember that the exam would carry latest information. Then how are you supposed to refer to Preseen information in your answers? So I told you earlier that as a finance manager, you need to bring in information from the Preseen. So how are you supposed to do it? You have to refer or cite in such a way that it adds value to your answer. There's absolutely no point of bringing in general information from the Preseen if it is not relevant to the question, or if the information which you brought in from the Preseen is not relevant to the scenario which is presented in the question. Okay, whenever you are bringing in information, it needs to be 100% relevant to the question as well as the scenario presented within the question. And on top of that, you need to see whether it adds value to your answer or not. If not, please refrain from bringing in unnecessary or generalized information from the Preseen. And do not force it in to show the marker that you have studied the Preseen, because you are not supposed to, as I told you earlier, you're not supposed to just throw information taken from the Preseen thinking that you're going to get marks. If it's not relevant to the scenario, you're not going to get any marks. So refrain from doing these things. You'd understand how to do this in depth when you attend the 3rd webinar, exam technique. That's what's happening on the 8th of April. And by going through the suggested answers of mock exams, and this time we are not only providing suggested answers, we are providing answer plans as well, which are summaries of the suggested answers which we have developed for all 5 mocks. And after you go through this summary, you are in a position to understand when Preseen information is brought in and how it is brought in with the intention of improving the quality of your answer. And you need to understand about, application of theory. Most students who are coming through the exemption routes or the FLP or the master's gateway route struggle in this area. Why? Because they have not studied the OTQ exams pertaining to E2, F2, and P2. You might be coming from, master's gateway route. In such a context, you'd be conversant with E2 related areas, but I've encountered most students, they lack an appropriate level of knowledge about F2 and P2 relevant syllabi content. Okay, so that's a huge problem, because if you do not know your theory, you cannot pass the MCS exam. But there's absolutely nothing to worry. We have developed a study system where we are conducting master classes, and via these master classes, we are teaching you theory as well as application. And within these master classes, I will be explaining the answers of all 5 mocks. And whilst explaining the answer, I will be teaching theory as well as I'll tell you how to apply the theory so that you get marks for application as well. And on top of that, you'd also learn how Preseen information needs to be brought into your answer to improve the quality of your answers. And prepare for application of theories and concepts. E2, F2, and P2 are heavily tested. If you're not too conversant with F2 and P2, you need to go for the premium package where we are conducting master classes, or else there's absolutely no way that you learn this important theory. And prepare for interpretation of figures and numbers as well, especially when it comes to F2 related areas. You are not supposed to do any calculations just like in your OTQ exam. Instead, all the facts and figures will be provided as part of the question, and you are supposed to interpret these figures and numbers. And on top of that, when it comes to something like suggesting KPIs, you will be expected to suggest KPIs. And on top of that, I've seen questions where in certain instances, KPIs will be provided within the question or the scenario itself, and you are supposed to explain each KPI. So you need to have a sound understanding about KPIs. You need to be conversant with all these theoretical concepts. If not, you are not in a position to interpret the figures and numbers accurately. And do not skip any topic when you are preparing. I've heard tutors saying that certain subjects carry a higher weightage within your MCS exam. That's not accurate. I have to say that E2, F2, and P2, all 3 subjects are heavily tested within the MCS exam. And if you want to learn theory, you need to get it done via the master classes. And do not rely on predictions, as any area can be examined. So within our mocks, we have developed certain scenarios based on the tips, sorry, not tips, actually, based on the hints provided by the examiner within the Preseen. However, do not rely on predictions. You can't predict the type of questions which will be thrown at you. The best approach to prepare for an exam is to attempt 5 mock exams which cover all syllabus areas. Then you would be ready to face any type of problem or question which is thrown at you. Okay, so when developing our 5 mock exams, we have made sure to cover all theoretical elements. And if you attend our mock exams and stick to our study plan, attend mock exams on a weekly basis, you can easily get through your exam. All right, so before we move on to the second part, which is the industry analysis, let me tell you about what we offer at TCS. So I hope you guys can see my screen. I've shared the screen of our website. So I'm on the MCS page, and the email, the address of our website is www.study@tcs.com. So if you want to check out the free content or the recorded versions of these webinars along with mini mock, just click on this button and you can access the free content. And check out the sample material as well to get a gist of the type of material we offer. All sample material have been uploaded so that you can check it out before investing your money. Then let's look at the courses. We are offering 3 courses this time: Essential, Value, and Premium. Under the Essentials package, you would get your hands on the recorded versions of the 4 webinars, as well as 5 mock exams with suggested answers and 4 Preseen analysis videos. And this is priced at £99. And if you're coming through the CIMA general route, and if you had aced your OTQ exams, if you had gotten really good marks for your OTQ exams, then And on top of that, if you're extremely comfortable with self-learning, then you need not access any material. By accessing these material, you are in a position to easily pass your exam. However, this is only relevant for students who are comfortable with self-learning and who had aced their OTQ exams. Then looking at the value pack, you'd get your hands on the same material which comes under the essentials pack. On top of that, you'd get your hands on something called an annotated Preseen, which you'd see in a while. Then you'll get your hands on the industry analysis cards, financial analysis cards, top 10 likely issues, and the case study familiarization kit. And you'll get access to a tutor managed live chat via Twilio. We are going to kickstart Twilio for MCS in the next week. So via this chat, you will be able to get in touch with TCS's tutors on a regular basis. Whenever you are faced with a problem, you can just type it out on the chat, and our tutors are always ready to help you guys out. And you'd get your hands on the theory recaps pertaining to OTQ syllabus content, especially if you are coming through an exemption route. It's prudent for you to go through these revision cards before the master classes are conducted, because then once you have a general level of understanding about theoretical content, and once you attend the master classes, you would have concrete knowledge about all theoretical areas. And so that's what comes under the value pack, and it is priced at £199. And looking at the premium package, it comes under the premium package. You would find all material which comes under the value pack. On top of that, you would have access to the online mock exam platform, or the LMS. So when attempting your mock exams, you can attempt all 5 mock exams under exam conditions within our mock exam platform, which had been developed akin to the Pearson BUE system. Why are we providing this service? With the intention of making sure that you get used to the exam platform beforehand. You get used to exam conditions beforehand, because as I've seen, some students, what they do is when they attempt mock exams, they divide it into 4 separate parts and attempt them on a daily basis. So it's something like you attempt the first task of a mock on a Monday, the second task on a Tuesday, the third task on a Wednesday, and likewise. So you cannot break it down at your real exam. At the real exam, you have to sit in one place and attempt the entire mock in one go within 3 hours. So you need to get used to that exam pressure. So that's exactly why we want you guys to attempt all 5 mocks under the exam platform. Then you'd be able to feel the exam pressure, exam stress beforehand, and you'd have ample time to find solutions to overcome the undue exam pressure. And we, the tutors at TCS, are always ready to help you guys out in these areas. And you'd get your hands on the answer plans of all 5 mocks, which is going to be extremely beneficial for you. You need not develop study summaries based on the suggested answers. You need not read through pages and pages of suggested answers and develop your own short notes. We have done it for you. You need to simply, after attempting a mock, you need to simply go through the answer plans. Then you'd have an appropriate level of understanding about the structure of the answer as well as the content of the answer. And we are conducting 12 master classes where I'll be explaining the answers of all mocks. Okay, out of these master classes, 2 will be live classes, and all the others will be recorded sessions. And we are holding 7 tutor-led weekly webinars and workshops until your examination week. So on a weekly basis, our tutors will keep track of you and ensure that there is a live session where we can connect directly with you and understand where you stand and suggest what you need to do to improve the quality of your answers. And this comes with a monthly installment payment option as well, which is the first installment is on discount. This is on a 50% discount. It used to be 99, but we are offering an early bird discount for the first installment. So it's £49 plus 2 more installments amounting to £225 each. So all in all, the package, the total price is £500, broken down into 3 monthly installments. And this comes with a pass guarantee. If you end up failing the exam after using the premium package, which is highly unlikely the case, because we keep in touch with you on a weekly basis. Yet, if you do not commit, or if there are any shortcomings which leads to a failure, absolutely nothing to worry. We are providing the access to the premium package free of charge in your subsequent sitting. And all products are available until the 31st of August 2023. So if you're planning in attempting your exams in August, you can invest on your preferred package right now and get started, so that you have ample time to prepare yourselves. And we ask you guys to check out our study plan as well, because this is developed with the intention of again helping you guys out to stick to a proper study plan. And if you had gone through the study plan already, you would have realized what you need to do on a weekly basis is just find 3 hours, sit in one place and attempt a mock per week. Everything else is handled by us. So let's assume you attempt a mock on Tuesday. You are supposed to watch the answer explaining videos or the master classes based on the suggested answer on Wednesday. By Thursday, within 48 hours, you'd get feedback from tutors. By Thursday, you'd know where you stand, and you have ample amount of time towards the weekend to work on your shortcomings. So on a weekly basis, up until the 6th week, what you're supposed to do is attempt mocks week by week. Do not wait until the last minute, because then you won't have enough time. You'd try to rush your preparations. You try to do 2 mocks per day. And once you do it, you won't have enough time on your hands to overcome your issues. Just because you attempt a mock, you cannot pass the exam. After attempting a mock, you should be in a position to understand what went wrong in your answer, understand areas where you need to brush up or improve your answer, and you have to practice on your technique. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday can be allocated towards, for instance, if your answer planning technique is not up to par, you can allocate time on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to improve. So on a weekly basis, our objective is to achieve continuous improvement. So you are only supposed to sit in one place and attempt a mock on a weekly basis. Everything else is handled by us. So this is the smartest way to prepare, covering all syllabus content, and on top of that, improving the quality of your answers. And a week before the exam, you are supposed to relax. Just refer to the answer plans of mocks 1 to 5, which are summaries. So it's as if you'd be you are revising the entire syllabus and improving your application skills. You're supposed to reread the annotated Preseen and stop preparations a day prior to the exam. Sleep, eat, and rest well. And if you're not part of our MCS WhatsApp discussion forum, you can join it by clicking on this button. And let me show you the type of feedback which I'll quickly show you the type of feedback which we provide at TCS. So as you can see, on a paragraph by paragraph basis, we are providing in-depth evaluation, so that you can easily understand what your shortcomings are and improve the quality of your answers. And at the very end, mark allocations are provided for each and every subtask. And as you can see, the students success rate is not too good in task 2B. Success rate is just 26%. So in such a context, I told you, you utilizing your weekends, you can work on these shortcomings. So the student ideally should have reattempted or redeveloped answer plans for task 2B, task 3A, and task 4A. All right. So, and at the very end, we provide general comments as well. So that's what we offer at TCS. And let's move on to the industry analysis. Before we do, any questions, guys? Any doubts? All right, folks, thank you very much for those questions. So I'm going to move on to the industry analysis. Okay, so I'm not going to take you through the entire set of slides pertaining to the industry analysis, because I just want to explain the most important areas. If you invest on paid content, the value pack or the premium pack, you'd get your hands on the entire set of slides. Our industry analysis slides are divided into four main areas. In the first area, we'll be providing an overview into the industry based on real life dynamics, so that you'd gain a better understanding about the industry. Then we'll highlight the industry trends, because it's of utmost importance you understand the most popular drivers of the industry, as well as what's going to happen within the industry in the future. And again, and in the third part, we have highlighted the challenges faced by companies within this industry, because you need to understand about threats which you would face when operating within this industry. And at the very end, we have provided two real world examples of two real life companies which conduct operations akin to Happywell, the company on which this times Preseen is based on. So let me first take you through the market definition. So this times industry is based on an industry called package holidays. So what are these guys into? Package holidays comprise of transport and accommodation sold together by a vendor known as a tour operator. So the package holiday market is driven by tour operators. And what are these tour operators doing? They are packaging up or bundling up different types of services which are offered as holiday packages. And after combining different types of services, they sell it to customers in as one single package. So if I explain this further, when a customer wants to fulfill their holiday related needs, they need to look into accommodation, they need to look into airfare, and they need to look into travel insurance, as well as they need to figure out transportation from the airport up to your travel destination or up to the hotel. So all these things are provided, bundled as a package to customers by tour operators. So that's what the package holiday industry is all about. That's why we call it a package holiday, because multiple services are packaged together and sold as one single service or one single product to a customer. Okay, and what are the tour operators up to? These are the entities that combine the separate elements of a holiday into a package that can be sold directly to a customer or can be sold through a travel agent. So tour operators drive the package holiday industry, and they can directly sell their services, the bundled or packaged holidays to customers, or they can sell through a travel agent as well. So these are the market definitions. I'm gonna move on to industry trends. Okay, so let's look at the industry trends. Let me move on to that slide. I've paused. All right. Okay. Industry trends. So looking at what the trends which drive the industry, there's something called a customized set of packages. Today's travelers are looking for more personalized travel experiences, especially the wealthy customers who want to fulfill their holiday related needs. They are looking for convenience as well as comfort. So they are ready to pay a premium price or an additional price and go for comfort and convenience. So they are always on the lookout for customized packages. So if we can customize, then we are in a position to satisfy our customers more. And there's a growth in sustainable tourism as well, where tour operators are increasingly offering eco-friendly packages that focus on responsibility travel, conservation, as well as community engagement, especially when dealing with Gen Z customers. They are pretty adamant about purchasing from sustainable service providers. So that's a trend which drives the industry. And culinary tourism is a major driver of this industry as well, where people who want to experience different food cultures and who want to experience different types of food offerings, they are looking into culinary tourism. So that's generating a lot of revenue or driving the industry forward. And be leisure travel plays a role as well. This is a combination of business and leisure travel, in which is becoming increasingly popular, especially among corporates or employees working for big corporates. So these these type of employees who are usually working for multinationals or big corporations, they have to move from one country to another to conduct business, and whilst fulfilling their business related needs, the sector, the holiday tourism sector is providing leisure facilities as well, so they get to entertain themselves whilst attending a business meeting or whatever. All right, so all these things are the drivers of the industry. Then let's look at a real life example so that you guys better understand what I'm talking about. All right, so the real life example is based on a company called TUI. TUI Group, or in other words, Touristic Union International, is a multinational travel and tourism company which is based in Germany, and this operates over over 100 countries, and offers a range of travel products and services, including package holidays, flights, hotels, cruises, and tours. We are providing a similar type of service, okay, and it has more than 50,000 employees by now. So that's TUI Group is a real life company which provides similar to holiday packages as what we are offering. So that's that with regards to the industry analysis. So before we move on to the pre-scene analysis, let me remind you about the 50% discount, which is on the first installment of the premium package. We are offering an early bird discount which will expire within the coming 2 weeks. So if you want to purchase it, please visit www.studyatTCS.com and claim your offer. All right, moving on to the pre-scene analysis. Okay, so as I told you earlier, our pre-scene analysis sessions run on to 4 areas, but I'm not conducting all 4 or covering all 4 areas within this pre-scene analysis. I'm just gonna focus on the first part of internal dynamics of Happywell. Happywell was founded in the early 1970s, so the company had been in operation for the past 60 years. So these guys are known to the market, which is a significant strength. And the examiner within the first paragraph itself talks about the history of the company, but it's much more important to focus on the present day business dynamics than what has happened in the past. And Happywell succeeded by concentrating on the quality of its holiday packages and of its customer support. So these are 2 critical success factors, or CSFs, of the company. What are these 2 critical success factors? Offering quality and customer support. That drives more and more business for the company. And Happywell's holidays are regarded as offering value for money, even though they are not necessarily the cheapest. Yes, so the another critical success factor or something which drives success for the company is mentioned by the examiner. So these guys are offering value for money, and when offering value for money, these guys are trying to, this company is trying to improve the quality of the experience of the customer. And when you improve quality, definitely a higher price will be charged, and customers are totally okay with the higher prices charged by Happywell. Why? At the end of the day, they are getting extreme levels of value. And passenger numbers have been growing steadily despite the availability of cheaper tour operators. Yeah, cheaper tour operators are there, but customers depend on our services, even though the prices are a bit high. Why are they depending on our services? Why do they love us? because we are offering them value, which can be considered as a significant strength. It gives us an indication about the brand presence and the strengths of the brand Happywell has created over a number of years. Then looking at the passenger numbers, you can see from 2018 up until 2022, the passenger numbers had been increasing, and the forecasts pertaining to, if you look at the forecasts which are relevant for 2023 and 24, again, you can see that the growth is gonna increase in the future. So strong growth is projected for the current and following year. Happywell may need to increase its operational capacity to cater to increase demand. So when the demand is increasing, we have to increase the size of our offerings. So based on this information, I've predicted possible exam scenarios. So there could be a question or a scenario which is based on addition of new holiday packages or destinations, because there are we are offering a set of holiday packages, but as I was telling you earlier, when we looked at industry dynamics, customers are looking for customization. So in such a context, we can focus on niche markets. So when focusing on niche markets, we have to improve our holiday packages or bring in new services as well as products into our holiday packages. So a similar exam scenario can be thrown at you. And purchasing or constructing a new hotel could be a scenario, or extension of the capacity of the existing hotels, so that we are in a position to address increased demand from customers. And purchase of new aircraft or aircrafts could be a probable exam scenario as well. You'd learn about the nitty-gritties better, then you'd understand what I'm talking about. This company owns its own fleet of aircraft, as well as they have a set of hotels. And in such a context, these type of scenarios can be tested at the exam. And key areas of focus based on the syllabi could be business risks. If we are going for an investment appraisal, and if you are, let's assume we are purchasing a set of aeroplanes. So that's going to be a significant financial investment. So you might have to evaluate between debt finance and equity finance, or a combination of both when financing these investments. Then project management will definitely be tested, and HR aspects, because when a company grows, so would the headcount. With that, we'd have to explain to management about how to handle recruitment, how to manage conflicts, how to keep the employees motivated, how to provide them with financial as well as non-financial motivators, how to provide them training and development, or how to fulfill their training and development needs. All these things will be tested at your exam. And Happywell now flies from 32 airports in Westland to 83 destinations in 28 countries. So as I told you earlier, Happywell has a fleet of aeroplanes. Okay, so they own their fleet of aeroplanes, and because of that, they are operating from 32 airports in Westland. So this is indicative of the fact that Westland is a large and developed nation, which provides us with significant opportunity to grow our sales into the future. Okay, and Happywell's holiday destinations are located within a 5-hour flight time from their departure airport. So what these guys are doing is, from the departure, so they are offering air travel related services. So from the departure airport up until the destination, these guys are providing air related services. Then looking at the booking process, Happywell is the only major tour operator to provide customers with the option of booking their holidays through a retail shop. So if you go through the first Preseen analysis video, which will be uploaded under the paid content, you would understand that according to industry dynamics, 70% of customers book their holiday destinations or holiday packages via online platforms, and 30% of customers, they still visit a retail shop they still visit a travel agent in order to get all the information about a holiday destination before they decide on their package. So 30% of customers, since 30% of customers are still going through retail shops to gather information about holiday packages, we are offering this service. We are offering that service. We are selling our products online. On top of that, we are selling our products through retail shops as well. None of the major operators are doing it. So that drives significant competitive advantage for us. And Happywell has 311 shops in Westland, especially when you look at the baby boomers. They do not trust the internet, so they prefer to walk into a retail shop and fulfill their holiday related needs. So we have tremendous, and these baby boomers are usually the wealthy customers when it comes to tourism, when it comes to the tourism sector. So in such a context, us as a company, we are in a position to generate significant revenue growth because we are fulfilling the needs of these customers. So that's something positive about the company. And each shop is staffed by travel advisors who have been trained to advise customers and to manage the booking process. So we are not just running the retail shops. We have travel advisors or trained travel advisors working within them, and they help customers when it comes to providing all information, as well as they handle the booking process as well. So HR aspects pertaining to E2 related syllabus content can be tested. So training cycles and how to motivate these guys, these travel advisors, if there are conflicts, how to resolve these conflicts, how to carry out negotiations with these type of travel advisors. All these things can be tested at your exam. The shops take 35% of sales via offline channels, through retail outlets, and 65% of sales are generated via our online or our website. So this is akin to the industry dynamics. I told you earlier that 30% of customers within the industry book their travel packages in an offline setting, and a similar scenario can be seen within our chosen company as well. And the website is designed to be attractive and easy to use, which is something positive. And customers can browse through all the packages that are available, or they can simply simplify their search by inputting as many variables. This information gives us an understanding that about the type of website which we are using. We are providing a user-friendly website, which is a strength for the company. And diving deeper into the booking process uses statistical models to price each holiday individually, taking account of demand and availability to maximize revenue. So there is a seasonality in sales, or the demand within this industry is seasonal. So because of that, during off seasons, there's a lot of discounts going on. So in such a context, we have to keep on changing our prices. It's not too easy when you are operating across the globe. It's not too easy to keep track of prices. So that's why the company is using statistical modeling, which is good. And pricing can also be affected by the timing of the booking as well, because if you book in advance, the price will be cheaper, but closer to your departure, if you are trying to book a travel package, then definitely it's going to be expensive. And as I told you earlier, demand is seasonal, and because of that, it remains cost effective to offer holidays throughout the year, even though flights and hotels will not be at full capacity during the winter season. So this is the reason why travel companies run special promotions during off seasons. Why? To drive sales, and try and bring up the capacity of the company. And customers are required to pay a 10% deposit at the time of the booking, and to make a final payment at least 2 weeks before the departure date. Okay, so that's a technical area pertaining to IFRS 15, an area which falls under the F2 syllabus. So what you need to remember is customers pay 10% of the entire fee about 2 weeks before, but within the last 2 weeks before the departure, they have to settle their account. So IFRS 15 will definitely be tested. And looking at the IT systems, they are designed to maximize the revenue from each booking. So shop staff and the company website are designed to upsell, as well as we follow procedures with regards to cross-selling. So we are involved with upselling and cross-selling activities. So I've commented that upselling and cross-selling are common sales tactics in many industries. However, care should be exercised that it is not overdone. If it is so, it will lead to inconveniencing our customers. So as I told you earlier, one of our critical success factors is offering convenience to customers. And if we believe in convenience, we cannot be involved with upselling and cross-selling too much, because it might put off certain customers, especially the baby boomers, who are the wealthy customers. All right, then looking at Happywell systems, they determine the price that will be charged for each element, but withholds that information from customers. So that's pretty basic. Any business runs like that. And Happywell has a long-standing arrangement with Tour Cover, a major independent provider of travel insurance. So what you need to understand is the examiner has elaborated about how this travel insurance works within the industry when highlighting the industry dynamics, and we have already covered this area within our first pre-scene analysis video, which can be accessed via the paid content. So I'll explain how this travel insurance works so that you have a good understanding about it, even without watching the first video. So when it comes to travel insurance, the tour operators are not providing travel insurance. Instead, they act as the link between customers and the insurance industry. So when coming up with tour packages, what we do is we get in touch with a travel insurance company, and we include it within the package and sell it to our customers. So when dealing with travel insurance, we are just dealing with one single company, which is Tour Cover. That's something good to have, because you can't be dealing with multiple insurance service providers when dealing with customers who are spread across the world. And when dealing with a third party, definitely conflicts could arise. So be prepared to provide solutions or to determine conflict resolution strategies, which falls under the E2 syllabus. And be prepared to talk about how to conduct negotiations when dealing with a third party. And all these areas are covered within our mock exams. There's absolutely nothing to worry. Any syllabus area which I've highlighted as part of the annotations are covered within our mocks. And if you attend our mocks and attend the master classes where we will be explaining the answers of the mocks, then you'd understand these theoretical areas and how these areas are tested in the exam, and how you are supposed to gain marks for application. Then moving on to the aircraft, Happywell owns a fleet of 97 Speed Comfort 411 aircrafts, and each aircraft can carry up to 210 passengers. And each aircraft has three crews, and each comprising of 2 pilots and 4 members of cabin crew. So altogether, there are a total of 6 crew members, and we have allocated 3 crews per flight. So that makes it 18 individuals in total assigned for each flight. And since we are operating our very own aircraft, we have to be conversant about, or we have to be considerate about providing sufficient breaks to the crew who work within these planes. And on top of that, we have to assess the mental well-being of the crew members in order to ensure the safety of aircraft operations. Then on top of that, there is a legal requirement pertaining to maintenance of our aircrafts, as well as conducting appropriate servicing of our aircrafts in order to ensure that we provide the utmost levels of safety. So all these things are handled by us as a company. And looking at the hotels which we own 314 hotels that are spread across 83 resorts that the company serves. And they are all designed to offer good quality accommodation and an enjoyable holiday experience, which can be considered as significant strengths. If we are offering good quality and an enjoyable holiday experience, we are in a position to keep pushing our sales revenue higher and higher. Okay, so remember that we own 314 hotels. So when operating a hotel, the quality of food and the ambience of the restaurant can be an important factor in ensuring a pleasant stay. So this is a common issue seen in within the hotel industry. So based on that, I'm predicting a possible exam scenario where the company receives customer complaints regarding food quality or the service levels at the hotel, and you'd have to provide recommendations as to how to overcome these shortcomings in the most practical manner. Again, these areas are covered within our mocks. And hotels provide facilities for tour company reps to meet with customers, usually in the hotel's reception area. So these are another set of stakeholders who play a major role within the industry. I've covered these areas within the first video, industry analysis. So these reps are there, or these are representatives who are representing Happywell within the hotels. These guys are there to help customers get from one location to the next. And these guys are handling the reception areas. They are involved with carrying out administrative work. So these reps play a major role. You'd understand more about them once you watch the first and the third videos of the Preseen analysis sessions. And Happywell requires its reps to develop a good knowledge of their resort. Why? Because they represent us within the resorts. So as noted before, this ongoing customer support from reps could prove vital in enhancing the holiday experience of customers. So we have to ensure that these guys are properly trained, and they have properly trained in customer service. And on top of that, they have all the necessary information about the services which we offer. And we have to ensure that they are kept updated whenever our packages or services are changing. We have to keep these guys updated at all times. So human resources management is an extremely important area within this company, because we are we own our hotels, we have aircraft, we are dealing with reps, we have our own set of reps, we have our retail outlets. So we are employing different types of employees within the organization. So in such a context, we have to ensure that we recruit the correct staff, keep them motivated by providing financial and non-financial incentives, and be prepared to recommend KPIs, because we have to keep track of the performance of these employees. So be prepared to recommend KPIs as well as explain KPIs which are provided within the question. Then looking at transfers, Happywell pays local coach and taxi companies to provide transfers to and from airports. So what are these transfers about? Again, I've covered this in the first video. So these transfers cover a certain activity where a passenger lands at the airport, and from the airport you need to take this individual to a hotel or the travel destination. So that transfer is carried out by using coaches. Okay, so you pack everybody into a bus and you take them anywhere. There are shortcomings to it, because when you are taking tourists from one location to the next inside a coach, different types of individuals who get down at different hotels will be packed into a coach. So in such a context, there could be customers who'd have to go through an arduous process, arduous journey until he or she reaches his or her destination. So travel can be often stressful, and the use of competent contractors is therefore important. So when providing transfer related services, we are utilizing local coach and taxi companies. So we had outsourced this component of the business to a third party, right? So that's good. Without us handling it, it's better to outsource. However, we have to ensure that the quality is upheld, or else our customers will experience stressful service. And based on this information, a possible exam scenario can be predicted, where there could be a question where Happywell is facing issues with the punctuality or the quality of services offered by third-party coaches or taxi companies. And in such a context, the customers will end up blaming us as a company. And if they post something negative about us on social media, then it affects our brand reputation in an adverse manner, which leads to reputational risk, which falls under P2. And Happywell's reps meet incoming flights and direct arriving customers to their coach or taxi. So that's one of the responsibilities of the reps. A rep usually rides on each coach and uses the journey time to brief customers on important information relating to their resort and the procedures on arrival at their hotel. So reps always keep communicating with the customers to ensure that they are kept informed at all times and their needs are looked into. And reps maintain records of arriving and departing customers to ensure that everyone is accounted for. So these are basic responsibilities of reps. And when looking at how the company views customer feedback, Happywell collects detailed feedback from customers at the conclusion of their holidays, and customers are emailed a link to an online survey. And the board is keen to identify any problems and to address them as quickly as possible. That's the most prudent thing to do, because you need to listen to your customers. That's the best way to measure whether your company is headed in the correct direction. So the board is adamant about understanding customer feedback. And it is also important to minimize the number of unhappy customers who might post negative reviews on their holidays rather on social media sites. So that's exactly what I highlighted earlier. So if that is the case, it leads to reputational risk, and this is a possible exam scenario which can be thrown at you. All right, so it brings us to the end of the first part of the pre-scene analysis pertaining to where I've highlighted the internal dynamics of the company. Based on the information which I discussed right now, do you have any questions? If so, you can raise your concerns now. If there are any doubts pertaining to the information which I highlighted, please raise your concerns now. All right, thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much for your positive feedback. So before we end tonight's session, let me remind you about what you're supposed to do in the upcoming week. It's going to be a hectic week when you look at week number 1, because you have to do a lot. You have to, attend the webinar, which we have already done. Okay, so that's a tick. And if you missed out on it, you have to check out the recorded version of it. And you have to watch the 4 pre-scene analysis videos to get an in-depth understanding about the industry dynamics, the internal dynamics of the company, Happywell, as well as the financial performance of Happywell, as well as its closest competitor. So just like the session which I conducted right now, I will be taking you through the entire pre-scene document based on the annotated pre-scene. And you are supposed to refer to the annotated pre-scene on your own after watching the videos, so that you learn further on your own about the content which is highlighted within the pre-scene. You are supposed to refer to the financial analysis, industry analysis, and top 10 issue slides, and attempt mock number 1 via the exam platform. I urge you guys to attempt the first mock before you attend the third webinar, because before I provide you all the tips pertaining to answer planning technique, it's of utmost importance that you do it on your own, according to your own method. Then you are in a position to understand where you stand as a student. Then you'd know in which areas you need to improve upon, and then you'd allocate enough study time to overcome these issues. Because if you do not know your theory, and if you lack an understanding about application of theoretical content, then you can't pass the exam. If you do not know how to develop answer plans, then you'd have no clue about managing time. Then again, you'd end up failing the exam. Okay, so all these things you need to on a weekly basis, you need to improve these areas. So only the first week is hectic because you need to go through a lot of material, but from week number 2 onwards, you can see your responsibilities keep on shrinking. So we have developed a study system with the intention of reducing your burden so that you can balance work as well as studies, and on top of that you'd have ample time to spend with your loved ones as well, because positivity is needed when preparing for a competitive exam like this. So don't wait until the last moment. Invest on your preferred package right now, because if you do, and if you stick to our study plan and start attempting mocks on a weekly basis, then that's all what is necessary for you to pass your exam comfortably. And I invite you guys to contact us if you need any assistance. So our website is www.study@tcs.com. You can reach us via our website, or simply drop us an email at info@study@tcs.com, or WhatsApp us on this number. And on top of that, I urge you guys to follow us on our social media handles. And as I told you earlier, we will be releasing 3 TikTok videos covering the most important points which are highlighted within the pre-scene. You just need to keep watching them on a daily basis to remember the main points. If that is the case, then you can bring in these points to add value to your answers. And please go through the blog posts by going on to our website. So after going through the blog posts, you would be in a position to understand the technical nitty-gritties pertaining to CIMA case study examinations. And the recorded version of this session will be uploaded on YouTube as well. I urge you guys to go and subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. All right, so it brings us to the end of tonight's session. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining in. I'll see you guys next week, next Saturday, where I'll be taking you through answer planning and time management technique. Thank you very much and good night.